What is up, everybody? Back on another video. I'm tearing into the time Kawhi betrayed Russell Westbrook in the NBA and the NBA that no one is talking about. Featured Clippers by MJ2K all day. Into it.
Remember when Paul George said that he had some unfinished business with Russell Westbrook, signed a 4-year contract extension, played one more year, and then demanded trade after the bad shot?
Oh my goodness.
Bro, I don't know why y'all getting on his head, bro. That is a bad shot, bro. That is, honestly, that's probably one of the worst shots you can get. In that situation, that's honestly one of the worst shots you can get. But it was just, and Paul George, that's good D, bro. Look where he's at, bro. That's good D, bro. That's good D. Like, that is good.
After the bad shot?
Like, this is good D, bro. I don't care what nobody say. That's good defense. That's just better offense, bro. Honestly, like, bro, look where Lillard is at, bro. That's
Bad
just
shot.
That is a bad
And then
shot.
Russ
That's
had no
just
choice because
better
the Thunder
offense.
were not going to win without Paul George, and then demanded trade too? What if I told you that Kawhi Leonard orchestrated all of that? What if I told you that not only did Kawhi tell Russell Westbrook that he didn't want him as a teammate, he immediately recruited Westbrook's teammate, Paul George.
Hello, darkness,
Smile, friends.
Because that's exactly what happened, and it gets worse. What is up, dudes, dudettes, ballers, players? It's your boy MJ. I'm not sure why no one's really talking about this story, but we're going back to 2019, right after Kawhi won the NBA Finals with the Raptors and Max Kellerman is calling him more clutch than Kobe.
Is Kawhi actually a better player under pressure than the great Kobe Bean Bryant?
Yes, he is. You understand, statistics are records of events. When they say
Wait till 2020, buddy. Just you wait.
The Nuggets. Leonard for three.
But you don't need to wait to subscribe. Most of you are betraying the channel by not being subscribed, so please subscribe. And during this time, it's pretty much believed that Kawhi ain't returning to the Raptors. So Westbrook calls up Kawhi and asks, hey, do you want to team up in LA? And by LA, I mean the Clippers. Westbrook wanted to come home. He grew up in California, played on UCLA. It was homecoming. And Kawhi told Westbrook, nah. And then he immediately called up Paul George and told him that Westbrook was trying to team up with him and that he preferred Paul George.
I am perplexed.
So not only did Kawhi tell Westbrook nah for teaming up, he went behind his back and recruited his own teammate and told him to leave Westbrook. Kawhi snitched! So Kawhi basically just screwed with Westbrook's whole living situation. Just think about it. Man wants to go home, but he can't do that now. Fine. But then at the same time, he can't stay with the Thunder because the Thunder just lost their second star in Paul George. And they don't got a single shot to win now. But this still isn't even the worst part. See, Westbrook became a journeyman because of Kawhi.
I am having a very bad day.
So he had a lot of teams to represent, but Rhino Shield, the sponsor of today's video, got you. Rhino
Alright, we messaged to my boy, but we ain't watching the ads, my boy.
says for a few weeks. I haven't looked back. Westbrook had signed a 5-year supermax with the Thunder the same year that Paul George. Westbrook had signed a 5-year.
That's not a travel?
These cases for a few weeks. I haven't looked back. Westbrook had signed a 5-year supermax with the Thunder the same year that Paul George signed his 4-year extension. It was meant to be a long-term partnership. Paul George, like Russ, and yes, Westbrook did ask about leaving and called Kawhi up, but that's what players do, especially if they just became a father of 3. Yeah, Westbrook's family is in LA and he just had kids in 2018. And so Russ was just trying to see what could be done to get him to his family. Players talk with players all the time. If we're gonna say that's tampering, LeBron been tampering since 2012. Kawhi just perfected it. At the same time, the Lakers had just traded their entire roster for Anthony Davis. And if you remember at the time, there were serious talks about Kawhi potentially joining the Lakers. The Lakers only had enough space to either sign Kawhi in a bunch of minimums or go after some better free agents, but not really Kawhi. Kawhi kept telling them to wait even as free agency kept going and going. So the Lakers weren't even thinking about Westbrook, they were so preoccupied with Kawhi, especially after Russ's performances against the Jazz in 2018 and then the Trailblazers in 2019.
Left of the half. Rubio, you get an out of control Westbrook.
Westbrook became an untradeable player because of his contract. He had, and still has, a $47.1 million player option for the year of 2022-23 at the age of 34. Over $40 million just the past year. No one wanted to give anything for Westbrook until the Rockets were like, we got untradeable player in Chris Paul, which is really dumb at the time. If you really think about it, Chris Paul should never have been untradeable, but the Rockets are like, yes, let's get rid of Chris Paul and we'll get Russell Westbrook. So now Westbrook went to Houston, which is further away from LA, and he teamed up with Harden in a weird fit, but hey, Westbrook and Harden are friends, so screw it. Kawhi knew that he was going to sign with the Clippers if they got Paul George, but kept the Lakers in the dark so that the Lakers would not have a chance to go after real free agents. And bam, Kawhi signs with the Clippers and the Lakers are in a scramble to find any free agents they can. And a small ball lineup later, and now Russ again is untradeable.
Westbrook tries a three.
Harden
Why did he just do it like that?
wants to leave. Look what just happened because Westbrook could not go to LA. Not only can he not go to LA, he is getting further away from his family and he is having to go through different team after team. So the Rockets trade Westbrook for another untradeable contract in John Wall. Russ is now on the East Coast, even further away from his family. Keep in mind that man is still putting up triple doubles everywhere he goes. But he was constantly adjusting to all the offenses, all the different players, personnel. He never really found a home. And to top it all off, Russ isn't even on a contending team for a championship. He's literally in a middle-of-the-road team trying to make the playoffs.
Help me!
All because Kawhi got Paul George to leave the Thunder. 1 year after resigning. Just one. Russ leaving a 5-year Supermax meant that he didn't really have that much say as to where to go. It wasn't easy to find partners to trade with. He wasn't able to get to his family because Kawhi snitched. Now, I don't even know the relationship between Russ and Kawhi, and I'm not even gonna begin to speculate because that is between Russ and Kawhi. But I just don't understand why more people aren't talking about this story. I had to talk about it because this is bizarre. I can't remember a single time where a
that is crazy.
player maybe asked another player to join them, and then that player went behind their back and said, nah, but I'm gonna get your teammate. But Russ is on the Lakers now. There's a franchise rivalry with the Clippers, and I would love to see Russ and Kawhi. I don't know if there's any tension between them, but I would love to see Russ and Kawhi face off. We might not be able to see it this year because Kawhi's injured, but with the way Russ always plays with a chip on his shoulder, it's gonna be exciting, man. But what do you think? Will the Lakers and Russ actually work out? Shout out to Rhino Shield for sponsoring this video.
No, I don't really think so. The Lakers really didn't have that many three-point shooters already. And to add Westbrook, oh man. Oh, that's not the move.
Go to the link in the description.
But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video, bro. Like, comment, subscribe, and we out, bro.